everyone. Welcome to day 2 of UX Design on Adobe Live. I'm Melody, I'm your host, and I'm back with Sam Anderson.
Hey, hey.
Yay, I'm super excited to be here, and hello to everyone in the chat for joining us. Riaz, Juliara, Iraj, Cars. Hello.
Oh my gosh, some people back from day 1.
Yeah.
Who's here back from day 1?
Let us know
People
if you
here
were
for the first time, that's okay too.
Let
Yeah,
us
I
know.
love Cars. I love that intro.
Yeah,
That
it's so
It's
cool.
one of my favorite pieces of motion graphics.
I know.
It's
Every
really
time
fun.
we see, I'm like, it's so beautiful. Yay. Hi, Tim. Snow.
Hey.
Hello. Thank you all for joining
Hello.
us. Yay. So for everyone in the chat and everyone watching, we are going to have a chat and win again today in about 30 minutes. And you can have a chance to win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. Yay. Awesome
Sweet.
prize. So
Yeah.
all you have to do is be active in the chat, say hi, let us know if this is your first time watching, if you've watched Adobe Live before, let us know, and let us know where you're watching from.
Oh,
And,
lovely. Yeah. Some people are tuning in from yesterday.
Yay.
That's great to hear.
Hi, Howard.
Hello.
Yay.
Oh, Howard Pinsky's
Howard Pinsky
here.
in the house. Yay. Cool.
How's it going?
Yes.
Okay.
So let us know. And then also towards the end of our stream in about an hour and a half, we're going to be reviewing your challenges for this XD Daily Creative Challenge, which I started right before this, but I couldn't finish because time ran out really faster than I was expecting.
That's okay.
So
It's
my
tough.
apologies. So if you guys are working on today's challenge, which if we switch over to my screen, I can give you a quick overview. If you go to behance.net/challenge/XD, you can see this Daily Creative Challenge landing page, and you can sign up for the challenge right here. And this is basically a quick overview of how it works. So over the course of 2 weeks, we are going to be unveiling a challenge each day, and you can get to work on it. And it's going to be a progressive challenge, and the theme is a food delivery app. So really exciting and fun. And so today's challenge is to design the home screen and make it engaging so that the user will stay on for over 30 seconds, hopefully. So if you have been working on it, feel free to submit that on our Discord, which I can show you really fast. So we have the design feedback channel on our Discord, and you can post your challenge here, and we will look at it later on today. Yay. And then if we can post the link for the Discord, please. Thank you.
Awesome.
So if you haven't joined our Discord channel, you can head over to this link, bit.ly/XD Discord, and you can join 5,400 plus people
Oh my gosh.
who love XD. And
It's active in there.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
great.
Very active,
Yeah.
and it's a great time. So you guys should sign up. And yeah, so I'm excited. Yay.
Sam the hacker. I love that.
Oh
bird.
yeah. I hope you have more hacks for us today.
Let's see. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what I have
We'll
up
see
my
what
sleeve.
happens. Well, we can switch it over to you, and maybe you
Totally.
can introduce yourself to anyone that's
Absolutely.
watching us for the first time.
I saw Steven in the chat. He was wondering what TK is. Right here. That's the typekit sticker, which is what
not-
Adobe fonts used to be called. Yeah. Anyway, hey there. My name is Sam Anderson. I'm a designer on the XD team here at Adobe, and I'm joining you live here to we're designing an app, part 2. Yesterday we started. Yesterday we started with the beginning of our app design, and I'll quickly recap that. But if you want to find me on social media, I'm on Twitter, sam.design. My website is sam.design, or you can even email me if you want to get coffee and you're in the Bay Area. Absolutely up for that as well. So we're designing an iPad app today, and this is part 2. And so I've come and done even more work since yesterday.
Ooh.
And so this is exciting. And the goal is, how might we form long-distance friendships by utilizing more expressive interactions in communication? And what this means is that I'm interested in just bringing back the nuance of like letter writing into digital communication. And so I think we've lost a lot of that nuance in how we communicate digitally today. It's like lots of really short text messages and nothing that's really any long form content. And so here's the idea. It's a digital letter writing iPad app that delays letters based on the recipient's distance from the sender. So it's just like real mail, but thanks, Howard. except it's digital, and we're adding new digital qualities to help make it more emotional and more emotive in that experience. So I have design principles as well to help guide me along the way. So we're hinting at the physical world, yet we're not recreating it digitally, because what's the point of an app that just replaces the function of writing a letter? And then I can just write a letter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And utilizing the magic of technology to really bring it something special. So that's the idea, and I'll show you what I had from yesterday. Actually, I'll show you. This is what the project is inspired from. It was something I worked on after high school, and I'm revisiting it for this live stream and redesigning it completely. But here's what we're redesigning. So I have an inbox and the envelope, and you open up the envelope. We have a message from Ben here, and you can reply, and you see Ben's letter on the left, and then you can compose your own letter on the right. And then when you send it, you can actually see your mail, your letter, traveling across a map all the way to London, which is where Ben is. And so you can also find people to talk to based on certain tags or interests, and everyone has an icon and a color associated with their profile, which is something we're bringing back in the redesign as well. So there's no actual profile photos, no real photos of people on this app, because it's all about interests and personality.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So yesterday we had some tentative designs for logos and different names for the app. We did a poll between Corresponder and Pensive, and this is the one that won. It's the paper airplane. The envelope was not quite as popular, and we chose the name Pensive with this green color that we really like. So that was fun. I'm really digging the paper airplane for sure.
Me too. It looks really cool, and it was really cool to see everyone participate in the poll that we had and help us choose the name.
That was great to get the engagement around that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And like as we go through this stream today, if you have any questions about XD or what it's like to be on the XD team that designs XD in XD every day, feel free to shoot those forward. Any questions about how you display your portfolio work? That's what it's all about. It's like how can we not only redesign this iPad app, but how are we telling that story on Behance is another facet to what we're doing today is tying up the ends of the app and really communicating that story. So if you were doing this for your portfolio, you can have a clear design intent. You can show off why you were designing this and really make a compelling story, which I think is what it's all about.
Me too. It's all about the story and how you present your work. And
glad you're liking the name Pensive. Great. Cute colors. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. I really appreciate that. So these were some of the things we designed yesterday. We knew we wanted to have a list of the different people that you're having, all the threads of people you're having conversations with, as well as the actual thread view where you're looking at the letter itself that's coming in from someone. We were playing around with all these cute icons,
that was fun.
which was definitely a blast. Yeah. This is pretty rough and wireframey. And last night I took it to another level, and we basically got to the point where we wrote our reply to this fictional character Garth, and we could see that message going on its way to London from New York. And so I took another stab at this, and I was playing around like, okay, how do we integrate maybe the map a little bit more? Maybe it should be the background. I wasn't quite sure. I was just experimenting at this point, but that felt maybe a little bit busy. So I was like, okay, maybe it's like a blurred map, and then maybe it comes into focus whenever you need to see it, right? I was thinking about if the hierarchy of this app was actually not based on the threads of conversations, but around the map itself. That could be fascinating, like hierarchy of interaction. But I ended up not quite going with it. I explored this one. We have the threads on the left, or the list on the left, and then the thread on the right. And none of this was really working for me, so I decided to totally change it up. And I decided to go for something a little different, which would be a hierarchy that's
Oh.
on the top. So all of the different people that you talk to are on the top, and you can swipe between them to open up the letter that's on the bottom. And so that's how this works. So each of these is a different person, and whichever one you have selected, it kind of opens up, and it shows where that person is,
Nice.
how long that letter takes to travel to you, and the timestamp. So some metadata as well as the letter itself. And then this one all the way on the left, that's your profile. So this is the personality of Emily, who has the yellow and the strawberry icon. And so you'll notice this purple background is tying in because we have Garth selected with the purple icon. And
that change with
so if we go over to
Ooh.
Destiny,
Cool.
right?
That's so
I did some
nice.
auto animate. I got really
Nice.
this was really fun to do
That
last
looks
night.
really cool.
Then you can see how this actually becomes our navigation through the whole app. So I'm doing something different that you actually don't see in other apps. It's not like a tab bar at the bottom or like a hamburger menu on the side. I really wanted to make it something totally new. Thank you, Riaz. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad, super glad. Thanks to everyone in India that's staying up late and
Yes,
watching this.
thank
I
you.
noticed some people said that earlier.
Yeah.
And so I wanted that top part to really be the navigation of the whole thing. So we could get to our profile by using this icon. We can swipe between threads at the top, and then this icon on the right is how we would find new people to talk to.
Ooh, nice.
And that part isn't designed yet. But what I did give a higher fidelity to is replying to Garth. So this is basically just a newer, higher fidelity version of what we saw yesterday.
Nice.
And so here we have Garth's thread on the left and our composition of our new letter on the right. Glad you like it, Lee.
Yay. Hi, Lee.
Hello. Or
There's
Leah.
a question from
sure.
Bruno,
Okay. Yeah?
and he wants to know, in case you get a task to complete as an interview process for a UI/UX design position, what do you focus on? So maybe do you mean like a take-home design challenge?
Yeah, so those are common for these types of design positions. They'll ask you to do something as part of it and show your work. And I think it's important for those design exercises. I actually haven't done any.
Oh, really?
So far, but my classmates have done tons of them, and what tends to be successful for them is to be very thorough in the whole design process, and they give it a lot of time.
Yeah, more time than you think that you need.
They really do, take a while. Doing everything from research to ideation of ideas and wireframing, validating those ideas, showing them to people and refining it.
Yeah.
They really just go through the whole design process. And I'd tailor it if you know that the job is specific to any particular focus, like if it's a prototyping focused job or if it's a visual design focused job, maybe put your emphasis there. But if it is just a general design or UX position, then really want to show your breadth or at least your interest in particular areas of that process.
Yeah. What if it's like you have 2 hours to do this?
Ooh.
I was listening to this podcast. I forgot the name, but it's a Google designers podcast.
Okay.
And they were doing an episode where they talk about hiring at Google. And someone asked, for a Google designer position, I had to do a design challenge in 2 hours. And I don't know if they wanted me to do more than 2 hours or see what I can do in 2 hours. And so they were contemplating. And what they ended up doing was just doing whatever they could in 2 hours and sending that. So it was unfinished work.
Wow.
But they just sent that and they ended up getting the position. So it was
okay.
kind of interesting. But I don't know, in that type, in that scenario,
2 hours is tough. Oh my
Yeah, or if
gosh.
it's 5 hours, do you do more than 5 hours? I don't know, it's kind of tough. Because you want to show your best work, but then you also want to stay true to what they want for the design challenge.
And some companies will have you come in and as part of the interview, they'll have you do a whiteboard challenge and they'll have you go through the steps of a problem or the whole design process on the whiteboard. And so they'll give you maybe an hour or so or 2 hours to just
have you done
solve
that
a problem.
before?
I haven't done that.
I haven't either.
To solve a problem with just the whiteboard. And I think what I've heard is helpful in that scenario is to make sure you're defining the problem, and like set up who you're solving that problem for. They'll give you some sort of prompt, right?
Yeah, and ask questions if you're unsure.
Yeah. And I've heard it's really good to just fill up the whole whiteboard,
Ooh,
even
really?
even if you're just big and like you're drawing like
nice.
arrows and things, like just like fill it, and it'll be a lot more compelling that way.
Cool.
So that's a great route to go as well.
The podcast is called Method Podcast. Thank you, Tim. And Tim posted the link for the episode I was talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tim does know everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
That's great. Yeah, Tim's great. He's
Yeah.
always posting the links.
Yes,
That's great.
Tim's the
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, and then people really love if you can show like system diagrams on those whiteboards as well, where you're showing the relationships between different parts of a system. It shows that you can think beyond just the screen and that you can communicate well, which is really what they're looking for rather than your design chops, because they brought you in for a reason.
Yeah.
And usually these things are further down the line than your first interview, right? Awesome. We're getting some people have done whiteboarding sessions. Yeah, it can be a lot on the spot, but just some people at my school even would do like practice sessions where they'll get another classmate like, hey, can you like fake interview me or fake like design challenge me? And then we'll like that's a good way to practice.
That's
good.
Juliara has a question. How many projects do you think I need to have in my portfolio?
Ooh, okay. I think so I think general advice is between 3 and 6. I think that's solid. 3 if all 3 are really in depth, that is like more than enough, and that's like solid. 6 if maybe like a few of them are like lighter projects and you don't have as much process to show.
Yeah.
And I think those are good numbers to follow. And I think it's key in choosing which ones, because you don't want to include more and then have less quality work in there.
Exactly.
So it's totally okay to have
like
less in there. My portfolio for the longest time has not actually been, it's been, the website itself is the portfolio. It's kind of hard to explain, but my website.
Speaking of your website, I'm obsessed with it. If you haven't checked it out, you should. It's really, really cool.
Google sent me an email. They're like, so many people have been going to your website. I was like, what?
Wait, really?
It's just that automated email.
Oh, that's cool though.
So, you'll notice my portfolio. What I did with my website is that I / portfolio. I'm not even sure if you can call it portfolio. I wanted to show my design skills and my capability as a designer, but without being in a traditional portfolio sense, where it's just all of the projects and you can click on it and I'm telling you the story. I wanted the website itself to be an experience, because I think if we're interaction designers, experience designers, like our website is an experience that we're designing. So I decided to just go full in, make the website itself an experience, and it's all about like audio and immersive 3D audio. It's kind of crazy.
It's really
you have to put
cool
on headphones. It's a little weird, but
it was
fun.
kind of weird at first, but then I'm like, this is so cool. I never knew about 3D audio before.
Yeah. There we go. My dock's going away now. Okay. But yeah, I think it's however you want to tell that story. So between 3 and 6 projects, or you can kind of do something crazy and just have one big project, or nice. however you wish to do that. Okay, so back to this, and feel free to throw more questions in there if you have any. But this is how we compose our letter, and we can easily send it off with this send letter button, and then it attaches itself to that thread. And so now we can see our new letter, and it's on its way to Garth.
I like the little icons you have
to
represent the people.
Exactly. So yeah, it's going to each person. We have our little paper airplane, and it's going to take 3 days. And I've fast forwarded in time for this. It wouldn't necessarily be already in the middle of the ocean
Yeah.
once you've sent it. But for the purposes of the prototype, you know, I advanced time. And of course, there's the signature, which people really liked.
Yeah, that was cool. You should check out yesterday's stream, it'll be on Behance or YouTube on the Adobe Creative Cloud channel, and you can see how Sam made the signatures on his laptop. I thought it was like on your iPad, you like sketched it out.
That could be a way to do it as well. Also, for things like that, sometimes I'll use Adobe Scan, and I'll you can just do it on your notebook, and then use Adobe Scan, and you'll get a vector.
I've never used that before.
Oh, it's really neat. Yeah. Just
That's cool.
as long as like you're pointing at like some sort of high contrast, like paper, like black pen on white paper, you can get a vector. It'll just give you a vector or PDF or anything from.
That's really cool.
And it uploads right to your Creative Cloud library, and you just pull it in. It's pretty easy. So that's a nice way to do it if you don't feel like doing it on your laptop, which I show how you can do with Preview yesterday.
Yeah, that was cool.
So check out that stream.
Riaz is asking, how did Sam do that transition?
Oh, I can totally get into this. It's really fun. But I'll go into the auto animate magic that I was able to do and show you how each of these steps happened. And then I've just a couple more steps to show of what I did last night, and then we'll dive into it and flesh this out, and I can teach you anything from what I did. So here we've replied to Garth, and our message is on its way. So let's check out. Remember, Destiny was in the chat yesterday, so we have new mail from her, and so when we go to her tab, we see the envelope slide in. It kind of comes in like from the right, just kind of rotates in, and I thought it'd be fun if you could actually like open the envelope. So I'm using some more drag interactions where you can open.
Whoa!
I love your reaction is gold.
Thanks. I'm excited about all your auto. Can you show that again?
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
So that's fun.
That's
It's
really
just
cool.
it's just a triangle that just
It feels real.
yeah. And then I have our letter itself, which is being masked, and we can drag this up, and we can open it from the envelope itself. So I'll show that again too.
So cool.
So and the envelope kind of leaves the stage, and we see our letter.
Disappears.
Yeah. So thank you. I'm so glad you love it. It is fun. Thanks, Howard. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thanks for coming back, Riaz. I really appreciate you tuning in again, and all your chat enthusiasm and all caps. I appreciate it all. And you'll notice this is green because we're following Destiny's color, and so you can see how, and the button's green as well. So we're seeing how we're using the design language of the app to make it feel personal to each individual person. That was really an important aspect of like the design here. So let's see, is that it? I think that's all I did last night. Yeah, and I can show you what these auto animate steps looked like. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited to see how you did it.
here's what we just looked at. Here's all the artboards. So we have Garth and then Destiny. This is when we slide over to Destiny, that tab, and I'll show you how this simple interaction for this, how we do that first. And so the key is really in masking, and I think if you're going to be doing any complicated animations, auto animate in XD, masking is where the real like power comes out of using auto animate, because basically Destiny's text and information is actually technically on the canvas on Garth's artboard, but it's only being exposed as the mask gets bigger. Yeah. And it just so happens that the mask is the same size as that white bounding box and that white card behind it. And then you'll notice what happens here is that we go to the green slide, and then there's an automatic transition that goes to the one where the envelope comes in. So I'll show you what that looks like. And so here is that card. And if we open it up, we're going to need the layers panel because this can get complicated pretty easily. And let's see. So I've called it Destiny Info, and what it is here is it's a mask. And so this rectangle is the mask.
Oh.
And rectangle 134 is the same one that is over here. Destiny Info 134, right? But that rectangle is getting bigger, and we're adding 20 pixels of round corner on each of these sides and a full round on the left. And the XD is just transitioning that for us, where it goes from a circle to like a semi-rectangle circle, whatever you would call that. So that is simply acting as the mask for the text. Without the mask for the text, it would just be kind of dissolving in, and then we also, that is separate from this white card behind it, and that is a shape that is also growing with the transition. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. It can be a little hard to grasp some of these auto-animate transitions, but basically anything that's the same on both artboards and has the same layer name, it will transition. And so that's where masks really becomes powerful. And then...
Oh, sorry. Jordy is saying, what is the countdown for? And that is for our Chat and Win giveaway. So in 2 minutes and 44 seconds, we're going to be giving away 100 free stickers to Sticker Mule that are custom. So the way to be entered into that is to say something in the chat. So if you haven't typed anything yet, say hello, let us know where you're watching from.
Ooh, Denmark?
Aurelia, yeah, Denmark.
Yeah. Lovely,
cool.
Awesome.
Yay.
We're in Denmark. Copenhagen? Copenhagen's great.
I want to go to Denmark so bad. I've never been.
They have this word called hygge, which is like this state of... I'm sure we could get more information from our Danish friend here. But it's a great concept of living in warmth and with friendship.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's such a neat concept.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, Iowa, how fun.
Nice.
Italy, oh my gosh, people from all over the world.
Yeah.
All different time zones. We're streaming from San Francisco here at the Adobe office, which is quite fun. So, so that's how we do the transition for these little cards at the top. And basically, then everything else is not too hard to get. We have a time transition, which is a delay of 0 seconds, which basically tells XD, like, okay, as soon as someone gets to this artboard, we're just going to automatically send them to this next transition without anything happening, which is why that envelope comes in so quickly, so that they're not stuck on this green artboard for very long. And so we have another auto-animate, and this one is with this actually very large object, which the envelope is part of. And the reason why it's so big is because I wanted the envelope not simply to just slide down vertically. I kind of wanted to give it some personality where it like arcs in. So I made a giant circle. Circle that I wanted because I'm rotating along the middle.
Oh.
Because objects rotate along the middle. And so I'm rotating the whole circle. So it's on this one too. Look.
Oh,
it's here and
see.
It's tilted. And so XD just translates the position of similar objects. So in this case, it's up here.
The envelope
right?
is in the circle.
So it's following the arc of the circle, of this huge circle.
Oh my God.
And perhaps there's a little bit less clunky way of doing this, but
really
I really wanted it to follow the path of the circle. So.
Nice.
But to do that, basically, I started with my end position, and then I went back to the previous slide and then rotated it so that I knew it would actually come into the right position on this slide. Howard Pinsky does amazing auto-animate magic as well.
Yes.
So he's just being kind.
It's Chat and Win time.
Let's do it.
Ooh, yay.
Awesome.
Okay, so everyone in the chat, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and you'll have a chance to win 100 free stickers.
Oh my gosh.
And we will be right back.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Yay. Hello, everyone.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that, wow, so much activity in the
Yeah.
chat. This is stunning.
Is great.
Yeah, this is great.
Hello from
Howard
Mexico.
and Sam should have a showdown.
Oh my God, you
Absolutely.
should.
We should have an auto-animate showdown. And we
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Howard recreated the intro sequence to one of these new Netflix shows. It was before the Netflix one.
Oh, the
He recreated
Love.
Yeah, Love
Death-
Robots.
I haven't seen it.
Death
Love,
Robots.
Death, Robots. I think. That was really cool.
He recreated that in XD. And I thought that was so cool. I actually, we have a
Oh,
winner.
my winner. Juliara Vasconcelos. Yay!
Lovely.
Congrats, Juliara. Yay. You're going to be getting 100 free custom stickers from Sticker Mule. Yay. And for those of you that did not win, you can head over to this link, stickermule.com/Adobe Live 19, and you can get 10 stickers for only $1, which is still a
Lovely.
great deal. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh,
Kinda got
so, yeah, Howard recreated this intro sequence. And I didn't actually realize it was a Netflix show. I just thought he just made some cool graphic. And so I saw that on Twitter. I was like, that is so cool. It should have sound. And so then I made sounds that went with it.
That's cool.
And made that. And then like after I posted it on Twitter, I realized it was
show.
already a show that had sound design for that
That's really
sequence. So then it was fun to see like how
difference?
yeah, like then I listened to it with sound like for real. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was great.
That's so cool.
That was fun. So that's how we have this envelope coming in. It rotates in with the big circle. I call that male rotator in the layers panel. And then opening the envelope is actually pretty simple. It's actually just this polygon, this path. We can open up here, which I used with the polygon tool, but then I converted it into a path because if you use, here's the thing with regular polygons, and so ours looks like this, right? And so at first I tried this, and basically on the second one, I want it to go up, right? So the goal was to just do that, right? But for some reason, sometimes when you're using, it was this, because I have rounded edges. Because I have rounded edges, it gets small when you.
Oh.
that's what I wanted to avoid with
That would look
auto animate. So basically, I turned it into a path by hitting enter and then just moving one of these points ever so slightly, and now it's not a smart shape. It's now just a path. So if we manipulate it, now it's acting in that envelope-y way that we expect.
Cool.
And so that's all we're doing for this part. It's just opening it up here. And this path here has a stroke on it, a white stroke, which is how we're getting the white border around the edge of the envelope here. And then we can see our envelope peeking through here. And how we're doing that is, what's confusing about this part is that the envelope is actually in front of all these other layers. But I'm masking it to look like it's behind the other ones. And so that's important because without that, then we can't have the previous transitions, and it would just look kind of weird. So this is a mask where here I have the path of the inside of the envelope, and so we can see the rest of our envelope peeking through. And then I'm just moving our letter up and the envelope down in the second drag. So these are drag interactions. So our trigger is drag, auto animate, such that let's look at that again. When we drag this letter up, everything else is moving out of the way. It's kind of fun to have like something going in the opposite direction of what you're dragging, because it like throws you off a little bit. And I imagine this would be even more fun on an iPad itself instead of on the computer. But these are the kinds of fun things that you can do with XD.
So cool.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. So that's what I did in the interim between yesterday and today. And next up is to basically we are going to see if we can do these Find Others tab, or we could do the Profile tab, but that's maybe not as fun. So I think we'll do the Find Others tab, which shows you the map and allows you to find other people to strike up a pen pal conversation with. And then we're going to throw it all together into a Behance post.
Ooh,
and
yay.
hopefully we can start articulating like what makes it so, how can you tell that story in a compelling way if you're doing a project. So this is just a 2-day project for me, and if you also have like a 2-day project, you can still make it compelling and tell that story so that you can nail it in a design challenge or in an interview. If you have to sell this design to someone, that's all within reason. So.
There's a question from Steve. They're asking, is there an easy way to add the UI kits so all the components are in my library?
So what you can do is if you have a UI kit, do you mean the ones that come with XD, like these ones? You could open those up, and if you copy and paste components from one document to another document, they'll stay linked to that original document. And if you ever go back to that original document and change something, then it'll stay in tune. There's not really a way today so that all of your documents have them ready to go in here. But basically, you can add one right from here, and you could even add that UI kit into your Cloud documents. If you save it into your Cloud documents, you could just choose it from here, and then from your assets panel, just use this little plus button. And
I
you
never knew that plus button was there.
That's new. Well, it's new. It's brand
it's new?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty new.
It's like, why didn't I know about this?
Yeah. Thank you, Riaz. I'm glad you like the design. But basically, using this plus button in the assets panel, it will add all of the components of another document. So it's basically linking one document to another, which is quite powerful. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to shout your questions. I'm all for it. But basically, we're going to go into this last step, which would be the finding other people. And so I'm going to we'll do some auto animate where I'm changing this and I'm moving that to a circle. Same with our mask. See how those are actually two separate elements there. And I'll do that as well. And I'm going to move everything over. And this one's going to take center stage. And so it's about center, like that. And then, so if we look at my previous design, this is what it looked like before. This is where we're looking for new people around the world to talk to. And so the map takes center stage as the interaction where you can drag around. And then we have all of the different profiles of people on the right. And so thankfully, we have our icons from yesterday, which we're going to utilize probably all these now. So maybe I'll bring them a little closer to our design
Ange
here.
is asking, do these transitions turn into code, or the front-end coder adds it to that?
The front-end coder would have to kind of interpret these. There's no way for these to be turned directly into code, at least today with currently how auto animate works. But that's definitely something the team is exploring. Is like how can we better enable designers to hand off to developers, especially when there are complex animations involved. That's something no design tool is really quite nailed. Is like for animations where you have so many advanced like movements going on, how in the world do we like communicate all those like nuanced transitions and the duration of those transitions and the easing and the curves, right? Like there's so many different things going on. So basically, I'm bringing over all these icons, and we're going to turn them into a grid, and we're going to bring in our map as well. Basically, what inspired this layout of icons was actually the Apple Watch. Apps grid. Have you seen how that works?
Yeah, I was like, that looks familiar.
Yeah. I really like how the Apple Watch, some apps are bigger than others, and like when you scroll, like they kind of change size. So that's what I was getting at here. It's not that some people are more important than others. It's just that it's kind of bubbly in how we in how we like show each person. And so they're not all going to be the same size, and they're all going to be different, actually. So, okay. So I'll start just making these here. There we go. And so we'll have someone with a top hat, and I'll give these random colors and some random names. So I'll probably take names from the chat when we get there, to see like what types of people we want to be located everywhere. Maybe I kind of like white for that one, actually, so I'm gonna keep that one. And the other thing I did last night is I changed our map colors just slightly. That blue was a little too bright for me, so I did a more subtle blue here.
Did you change that in that map?
So I did that in Mapbox. So if anyone wasn't here yesterday, basically I used a tool called Mapbox Studio to generate these maps. And I'm not signed in right now, but you get the idea. They have a tool where you can change the colors of the map and take off labels.
And there's like different types of maps you can have too.
Yeah. So they have themes
really
that you can choose from, and then you can export really high resolution images as well. So one thing you'll notice, I love like this little wavy pattern, so I added that as well, and that's actually on each of these.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's really subtle, so you probably might have not noticed it on the stream, but some slight texturing, which is not currently a design trend. We kind of phased out of textures and repeated patterns for a while, but I think they might come back, so that's why I'm using them.
Nice.
Also, like little wavy patterns are just fun, and they also look good on maps because like water and such. Okay, so this is starting to shape up, and actually I'll probably just make a component for all of these, and just put everything inside different versions of the same component. But since they're all so different, I'm not sure how advantageous it would be to do that, but we can try it. So we have our butterfly here, and I'll give these all names as well. Maybe I should do that first, actually.
Howard says skeuomorphism needs to come back.
Yeah, in which case, then we have to add a lot more features to XD, don't we? Because we need like inner shadow, inner glow, and like a bevel, and like, oh my god, it's Photoshop all over again. We'll see if it comes back. Who knows? What do you think, Howard?
Yeah.
Is it going to? Okay. So I'm going to, let's get our text here. So good old Adobe Fonts has this great typeface. It's called Filson Soft. It's part of the whole family of Filson, and Filson Soft is like the more rounded corners version of their typeface. And I wanted this whole thing to be a little friendly, and so that's why I chose the rounded corners for that one. Fred has the top hat. I don't know, it just feels like a top hat. Yeah. Cool. And so
thank you, Tim, for posting the link for Filson.
Awesome.
On Adobe Fonts.
Cool.
Also, in 45 minutes, we're going to be taking a look at your designs for today's XD Daily Creative Challenge, which is to design a home screen for a food delivery app. So if you've been working on it, I know it hasn't been that long of time, but if you've been working on it and you want some feedback, even if you're not finished, feel free to post that in our Discord channel under Design Feedback, and Sam and I will take a look.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. We did something similar yesterday, and hopefully everyone that was involved with that got some helpful critique and things to make everyone better in this thing that we do called design, because getting feedback is just so important to our design process. So the next step here for our map is, if we remember in this really old design, is that I have in the center is our searching area, And so I think we'll stick with London just because that's a fun idea. And we'll have like a circle in the middle, which signifies like where we are searching and all these people are coming from. Cool. Oh. And because I have so many layers going on here, it can be a little hard to select at times. Okay, so we'll move this up. And we'll probably also like add a little gradient so the map fades out towards the bottom when it becomes more just names here.
Hi, Jesse. Jesse Showalter is in the chat. He was a guest on Adobe Live
a
few months ago.
Awesome.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
He says, I love the style, super fun.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm a big fan of just like friendly looking interfaces. I think it's important.
Very friendly.
I think it's important it's one of the main reasons. I mean, there's many reasons I like Lyft more than Uber, but
I do. I like Lyft more than Uber too.
Visual style is one of the reasons. Did you guys know? Here's a little pro tip. All the drop shadows that Apple uses, which are really nice drop shadows, like in all their interface elements, the blur is 2 times whatever that Y distance is. So that you'll always have a really nice looking blur. If like, so this one is 6, for example, make the blur double that. And that's always like a solid looking drop shadow. And that's the formula that Apple uses themselves. So you know it's good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Absolutely.
Bye, Juliara. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
And congrats again for winning the chat and win.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have the zebra here. What name should I put for the zebra while I pick this color? Let me know. Ooh, maybe like a blue kind of looks good there. Or purple. Yeah, a little purpley blue. Maybe Juliara, since she has to go in memory of...
She can be the zebra.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Juliara? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And before I forget, let's add our little circle, which acts as our like searching zone in the middle here. Take the fill off. Here we go. And so this will act as the indicator for where we are searching for people. And let's make sure it's in the middle with our smart guides. Oh, there's the middle. Okay, we were a little off with this one. Let's move everything over. There we go. Okay. And a shadow as well. Take off the fill. Cool. And so this circle will stay in place. And we won't be prototyping this in XD today, but everything else, the map would move behind it. And so the circle, so you can imagine how you could like choose different places with the map by moving. Yeah, it would be like this. That's basically how you would interact with it. Right, so we'll do that. Ooh, I wonder if I dash, no. Would that? No. That wouldn't be cool. I don't know. I was just, we can play around.
Yeah. It's a little hard to see.
Yeah, it's hard to see, so I'll improve like the legibility of that.
It could be cool.
So I'll duplicate it because we don't quite have multiple strokes yet. I'll just duplicate that and take off the shadow, and I can make the one behind it slightly bigger.
Ooh.
And maybe increase the size, and then actually I'll take off the shadow from the front one, add it to the back one. There we go. And then the front one, I'll change the color so you can actually see it. Oh, that's the fill. Border. Okay. And so now the stroke has a stroke, or the border has a border.
Nice.
Yeah, and so actually I think maybe we'll make that a little bigger. And it becomes a little bit more readable on our app here. And actually, I think we will use green because that is our brand color over here, and that's in our assets panel. So I will change that. I'll select this, go to our assets panel, and right from here we can right click and then apply as border. Boom.
Nice.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so that's that's looking a little better. Maybe the whole thing should just be bigger. Yeah. And I'll recenter this here. Cool. Awesome. And we could do other things to make that a little bit more legible because a map is pretty busy.
Yeah.
It can be hard to put elements on top. So props to anyone that is in the mapping world where they have to design these things.
I was like thinking about that yesterday when you showed that map. Like,
yeah.
There's so many different maps, and who designs them, and that must take so long.
Yeah. Cartography
and to figure
is,
out all the, edges and
oh my gosh,
where exactly all the cities are.
It's crazy.
It's so tough.
It is definitely tough.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the same Destiny that was in live yesterday? Oh, how fun! Thanks.
Hey,
I'm glad.
Destiny.
I'm glad you're having fun. That's great. Okay, so we'll have these different people around, and we're gonna have some that are bigger. And I think actually probably all of the names will stay the same size, but the icons will get bigger and smaller. And so maybe we'll do the watering can. And we'll need some more names. So any volunteers for names, welcome. Ooh, I think we can do a teal could be nice, or yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Or orange.
Ooh, maybe like a light orange.
Yeah? I can see that.
I like that color.
I can see that. And we're going to copy this shape and paste the well, actually, we need to add a border here. 8. And so we're going to copy this, and basically we're going to reuse this style on the other shapes. So paste appearance. Oh, but it's not the exact same appearance because, so I'll just add that shadow manually actually. So 6 and then 12. Ooh.
So Iraj is asking if you code, and they also want their name for the guitar.
Awesome, thanks. I will definitely add that. Oh, Iraj. Okay, awesome. I do not code. Some designers do, but I think for the most part, most designers don't code.
Yeah,
You don't code either,
no.
right?
I know
so-
like basics, like very, very basics, and I would need to Google like how to do everything.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I think it's important to know the
like
basics,
kind of
just a
how
little
things
bit.
work. Like know a little bit, but I don't think it's necessary to know how to code out everything.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like coding just takes so long sometimes, and then like designing also takes a long time.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, but like people that do both, that's super impressive, and I don't know how you do it.
I mean, it could be good. Some people make the argument that as a designer, it's nice to know the basics because that allows you to communicate with engineers and developers more clearly. So even if it's just taking an intro course in HTML and CSS or JavaScript, that's a good like first step. I always find that if you are a designer and you're always like on the edge in terms of like what you're prototyping, and you don't ever want to be left out in terms of like tools. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you feel intimidated to enter like a tool or something. So knowing the basics of code and just understanding how to read it and the syntax will open up a lot of doors just for tinkering and not actual coding. At my school, we had a programming and electronics class where we learned the basics of code and wrote very simple programs, but all of our final projects were more like hacky in terms of like finding things on GitHub or finding things that people have published already and copying parts of them and pasting like and just hacking around and changing the values. And that's where it becomes really powerful, and you don't actually have to be that skilled to learn that.
Just be a really good hacker.
Is it Iraj? Is that how we spell it?
How you spell it.
Okay. And we're gonna give you a color. I'm glad you like the guitar. That's kind of fun. What color can we do?
Kind of liked red.
Red? Oh, you're right. Because maybe it's maybe like a darker red or
like a lighter red.
A lighter
like
red.
That light red you had. Maybe, I don't know.
It can be hard because
It's
we have
hard.
two contrasting
Yeah.
colors here. So, but I think
I like it with the boot, but like the top part of the guitar kind of blends in with
it
the
does
red.
a little bit. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know what color.
I think I'm gonna. Ooh, we can't have all
Yeah, I
yellow.
know.
I like the yellow, but we
Yellow
can't have
does
all-
look good.
Okay, let's.
Maybe
let's,
we can
let's
change
keep
the
it-
watering plant to
Okay.
another color.
Okay, let's do the water plant. Just another color then. Actually, just another like a lighter green.
Yeah,
looks
that
good.
looked
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
That's.
I like
think that's fine.
Yeah.
That works. Okay.
Lizbeth is asking, what would you recommend for a designer that wants to get started in XD? Yeah, like Jesse Showalter just said, Howard Pinsky has amazing tutorials. Check out his YouTube channel. And also, if you go to letsxd.com, that's Howard's website, and he basically has all the tutorials you need to get started in XD to learn how to do like prototyping, drag animations, everything that you need to know in really short videos. So I definitely recommend checking that website out. And also participating in the daily creative challenges is a great way to practice and get familiar with XD and how everything works. And you can improve your UI UX skills, which is really great, and get feedback from our Discord channel. Yeah, so thank you, Tim, for posting the link. So it's letsxd.com.
Ooh, lovely. Jesse, you're bread.
Yay.
I just saw your name,
Nice.
so I just plopped it in there. I hope you like bread. Who doesn't like bread, though,
Yeah.
right? How funny if they're like gluten-free.
Oh,
like-
yeah. It could be a gluten-free loaf.
Yeah, true. That would be hilarious. I hope you're not gluten-free, Jesse. Okay. Okay. The butterfly, which is your favorite.
Yay.
Yeah. What color would you do? We'll use your
Ooh,
name.
Okay. Let's see. Wait, scroll through all the colors. No. I go towards the bottom.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, how does orange? No, I don't know. Pink?
Pink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a lighter
Like
pink.
a light pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that
dig
one.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yay.
It's 1L, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. And we'll kind of create this, like. So now we have a handful of profiles here. Use the bread. Okay. Create some more smaller ones. Awesome. And then pretty soon we'll start mocking this up into a Behance post, because I
Ooh,
think
I'm
that's
excited.
where we have a lot to learn in terms of like what is valuable in communicating, what's important about this design, and what was my process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Xiao wants to be hot pink. So maybe we give you the sun and we make you hot
Oh,
pink.
yeah. Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm not sure if that'll look good with the sun, but we'll see. Oh, that's not what we want. The circle behind the photo. There we go. That doesn't look good.
Wait, maybe go like make it more red
Okay.
based.
More
Or red based pink.
Red based
Yeah.
pink. Ooh, okay. What do you think,
Maybe-
Xiao?
Maybe like a little lighter.
A little lighter, okay. I can do that. Yeah.
No.
It's a sun, so it would be in
Yeah.
the sky, which is like a light blue, right?
Yeah. I like
That
light
works.
blue.
That works. Awesome. Cool.
Oh, Nora saying would be great to animate the little icons. For example, the butterfly moving its wings or the bread breaking in half. That would be cool.
So cool if you like open a profile
and it,
and then
like,
it animates.
Yeah.
Or
That would be cool.
adding more features in terms of like when you're actually talking to them. Or I had this crazy idea. So in line with all these new like interactions for communication is What if when someone is writing to you, so like someone is in the app and they're writing a message in reply to yours, and you happen to be in the app in the same time. Current apps, they just show like the ... right? Like someone's typing. Like I was kind of curious to bring that back into this as well. So maybe a feature could be like, you see like little bubble bursts or pops of color, like when they're typing on the keyboard, and perhaps even like those bubble bursts would be in the same position as where the key that they're typing. So if they hit delete a bunch of times, like they see like they'd see a bunch of bubble bursts like at the top right.
I would feel like embarrassed because I always like I type something and I'm like, no, I'm gonna say this instead. And they would just see me hit backspace or like make a typo or something.
That could be kind of fun, actually.
It would be fun.
Like, because I'm really curious. I think digital communication has so much potential in leaps forward it can take to make like these new qualities of interaction. Because right now it's just like text, and like we're getting further where you can send messages with like effects, and you can send GIFs and things like that. So we're getting closer, but I don't think we've realized the full potential. I'm glad you liked the bubble idea, Elizabeth. I'll use your as the second name or another name because I need another name.
Yes. Howard says ICQ used to do that back in the day.
What is that?
I don't know what ICQ is.
What's ICQ?
Sorry, Howard. I don't know what that is.
We're too young.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I think you should be the car, Elizabeth. Okay.
Jordan loves how excited you get with your ideas. I do too.
Oh. Yeah. I love brainstorming. That's just like my favorite thing.
Ooh,
I'm working on like new concepts for different types of interactions. Like this is just my jam. So I'll totally get into the groove of it. It becomes really fun. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Is there a point where an app becomes too colorful?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think ICQ is a messenger app, like MSN Messenger. I had MSN Messenger.
Okay, I know what
time
MSN is. Okay, that's helpful. Okay.
Mostly I used AIM. I don't know. Did you use AIM?
AIM. I don't think I ever used it.
Oh my god.
I used
that was like
Skype.
Everything.
I used what was the maybe it was AIM. AIM, yeah. Some people call it AIM, right? Yeah.
I call it AIM. And having all those away messages. Does anyone remember those?
Did it have sounds?
Yeah, like whenever one of your friends like logged in, it would have the door opening.
Oh
and
my
then
god!
If they left, it would be a door shutting.
Does
anyone remember?
Yeah. I think apps should have more sounds.
Yeah, I like
the problem
sounds.
is that all of our devices are always on silent. Like whose phone is on silent right now? Like mine certainly is, but I'm also on a live stream.
Yeah,
So.
mine is out there.
Yeah, but like but even if I was going about my normal day, my phone would still be on silent, so I would never even hear those sounds.
Yeah.
But like, I think there's some nice richness to interaction that you can add with sound. That maybe we should be on an anti-silent mode. Rebellion.
Whenever I'm like by myself, I have it like loud, or if I'm like at home. But if I'm out in public, I never have my phone like loud, or it's always on silent if I'm outside.
Yeah.
Howard's saying if only XD had sound effects. Ooh.
If only.
That
we
would
have
be
voice.
So cool.
We have voice. We're getting closer, right, Howard? But not quite there yet. Ooh, okay.
Jordan says mine's always on silent vibrate, and Lena says mine is always on silent too.
Yeah. Silent. It's a safe way to go. It's safe. Understandably. Okay, Jordan, you're the pig.
A pig is so cute.
It is very cute. I think that kind of goes.
Hot pink.
Hot pink?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. Why not?
I think it's fun.
You can still see it.
Yeah.
You can still. We don't need that anymore. Yeah. And then we're going to enough with the icons. You guys are probably sick of the icons. Okay.
But they're so fun.
They are fun. They are fun. So we're going to unselect. We're going to move these all down, and we're going to show the city that we have selected. So searching for pals, which is how we are going to say, instead of like users, like that's like really bland.
I like
it's
the
like
word pals.
Searching for pals, and then we're going to say near, and then we'll do like London area. And the idea here is that it would just pick like the largest city in the area that you have under the circle.
Iraj is saying, I missed the part about the icons. Did you bring them from somewhere or design? Where did you get them from?
I got them from a site called icons8.com. And so they have lots of really fun illustrative icons. Cool. So I got them there. It'd be fun to make these myself. I just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
But that can certainly
That
be a
would
whole
take a while.
endeavor, and it would definitely take a while.
Yeah.
So let's do this one a little smaller. Cool. And then just as a last finishing touch, we'll add like a gradient for the background that will go behind all of these. I'm using a keyboard shortcut to send behind, which is Command and then left bracket, which is handy, and I use that all the time.
I do too.
And then you can do Command Shift to send all the way to back. So that's a nice little hack. Make both of these, and that will kind of
Ooh, that looks nice.
Maybe should it go to blue or should it? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of like that. Okay.
It kind of looks like they're in the water, like.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. And so the idea here is that you could scroll through people and open their profile and send them a letter. And so, wow, this letter app is really coming along.
Yeah, it is.
I think we have the core concept here now. Just over 2 days. That's pretty nice.
Really,
not
really
bad.
Good. Yeah.
And even at this low stage, where even we have really just the core basic parts of the app right now.
Yeah.
We've talked about so many other features like the bubble popping and like adding a signature. We've talked about all these other features, but we have some people call it the MVP, right, of this design, and that's what's key if we want to show it off. And we could easily get caught in the details and start doing lots of other things, but we're getting quite close. And so I'll spend just a little bit more time refining this, and then maybe we'll do like a little bit of scrolling, and then we're gonna put it into this, which I just started, which is a long artboard, which we can upload to Behance. Nice. And so that can be fun.
Noor has a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible to place text on path? And they were thinking of placing the city name around the circle.
Ooh. So XD can't do text on path yet. We can't. In fact, I don't even think I don't think it's on our roadmap. But you can I think that's on user voice as a thing that you can upvote.
Nice.
So if you really think it should be a feature, you can upvote it and let us know that you really think we should have it.
Yeah, I think Tim posted the link earlier for that.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh yeah, thank you. There we go.
Awesome.
AdobeXD.uservoice.com. So if you have any feature ideas for XD, you can see if someone's already requested it and upvote it. Tim's saying you can do that in Illustrator and copy and paste it.
Oh, that will work? Yeah. If you copy and paste from Illustrator? See,
that's cool.
I'm learning about things every day.
Nice.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So I'm just going to change, since these are off screen, I'm just going to change the color of them, and we'll call it set, just so it looks like there's more.
Howard's asking, are you going to convert your designs into components to use within the presentation?
Yeah, so that's actually what I was thinking of doing. So we have some iPad here, we have some iPads, and we can plop those in as components behind there. And that way we can show them off like inside our Behance.
Nice.
Behance
Tim says,
image.
Full disclosure, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it could probably work.
Yeah. it sounds like it would work.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? Yeah, it would be worth a shot. I'll try that when I have some time. Or if any of you try that, let us know if it does work or not. Okay. That's feeling nice.
Yeah.
How cool. Okay. And so I've started putting together this Behance image here. And I think what's core for anything that you're showing on a portfolio, whether it's Behance or not, the first thing you want to do is just tell them what the idea is. And there's so many portfolios out there where you're like diving into the design like way too quickly. You're not actually telling them what it actually is. And so here we have our logo and our brand color, staying on brand with the presentation of the app itself. And I took this straight from my intro slides from earlier in the live stream. We have the idea, a digital letter writing iPad app that delays letters based on the recipient's distance from the sender. So like if someone sees this, like they could get a really clear instant idea of what the app is. And people love seeing that you have like these how might we statements and design principles.
And I like how it's short and not too much text to read, and you kind of just have the main idea of what your project is and the design principles and everything, and it's like really easy to scan through. Because a lot of times portfolios can be really long and have too much text. I know that was like a problem I had earlier in my portfolio stages, and I got feedback that I wrote too much about my project.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to remove text. And yeah, so that's like another reason why getting feedback is so helpful, because you might think something works great or looks great, but if you have other people look over your projects and they can let you know, like, hey, I didn't read anything that you had here, so maybe you just like shorten it by a lot.
Yeah. That's a key thing with designing for your portfolio or anything, is designing for skimmability. It's like, what if they're only going to read one thing or one or two, three, four things, like make those the biggest, and then if they feel like reading more, you can provide that, but make it like smaller and out of the way. And then, that can really help you out in that situation. So I actually haven't tried, so what Howard suggested is that basically we're going to turn the whole artboard into a component and then throw that over into our Behance design. And so because I haven't done this before, I duplicated it just because I don't want to break anything. And I think what I'll have to do, and so this is the first time I'm trying this, so we're going to work through it together.
Yay. Also, Tim says the text on path works. And you can copy, paste, and XD with no problem. Yay. Thanks for trying it out for us, Tim.
Okay. Throw that in there too. Okay, so here we have a group, and I think I'm going to mask the group. Because it's a scrolling artboard, I think that we'll have some problems turning it into a component and putting it on the screen. So I'm just going to mask it quickly first, and then I can turn it into a component. Sweet. Awesome. And now, over here, aha, look at this. I can put it into our design.
Nice.
Like that. I'll copy that. I'll actually open up this iPad that I got this from. Let's give credit where credit is due. And this one I got from, I have all my links in here. Great designer. This one. Anthony Boyd, who provides a lot of these great resources online.
Nice.
And then if we have time, we can go to another one he made, which is a Photoshop file, which is in perspective. And
nice.
It has like that, so it's not just a top view, it's actually in perspective, which is quite fun, like that. So we can put our design in there as well. And so here we have our iPad. Let's paste in there, and we'll put it behind our subtraction that we get the rounded corners
nice.
There. I just put that on top. And now, wow, look at that.
That looks really cool.
It's starting to like shape up.
Yeah.
And basically we can do the same thing for these ones. And basically under my design principles, I'm starting to go into each feature. And we're going to like show off each feature. And so let's see. I think our next step would be, actually we're going to use the same one as like the actual, because that's just a teaser at the top, right? So we'll show that. This is reading a letter, and we're giving just some details if they want to read more and find out what are these different parts of the app. We could put in a GIF in here. We don't have enough time to, I mean, maybe we do, I don't know, to record some of these transitions and put them into the Behance themselves as well. But that's definitely you should do. And we looked at some portfolios yesterday, which actually took advantage of using the screen recording feature in XD from the preview window, where you can show off those lovely animations in your Behance.
It looks really cool
profile
and
itself.
It like elevates your project a lot, I think. And you have really cool animations, and I would definitely want to see all of them. So
that would definitely be crucial for this project. But I don't think we'll have exactly enough time this time around.
Yeah, maybe you can, if you work on this later and add in the animations, you can put it on your Behance, and we can all see it on your Behance page.
Exactly, yeah.
Howard is saying, now that they are components, if Sam updates the main artboard, the instance on the presentation will also update.
That's the part I forgot to say. Yes, Howard. Thanks for bringing that up. So basically, I'm like, my design here is just not rocking with the purple or something like that. I can open it up, and because this is the master component, we can change it to gray, let's say, right? And now it's gray, but that's not fun. Who wants gray, right?
Fun.
So back to purple.
But that's cool that you can update there on one artboard, and then it'll change anywhere else that you have.
Yeah, that's fun. And there's a plugin that does that as well, called, what was it called? It's called, who remembers the name?
I don't know.
I'm blanking on the name right now, but there's a plugin that will also do that for you as well.
Cool.
It's called like perspective or like tilt or angle. Angle is what it's called.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Awesome. And so, cool. We will put all of these things into group like before, so I can mask it. And we'll make that a component again. Cool. Oh, some things didn't make it. Oh, wait. Here we go.
So in about 11 minutes,
we're
we're going to be
closer.
looking at your designs. Yes. So
how epic.
please send us your designs for today's XD Daily Creative Challenge, which is to design a home screen for a food delivery app. And even if you haven't finished, you can still send us your work in progress over on our Discord channel in the design feedback channel. And we will be taking a look in 11 minutes.
11 minutes away.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun.
yeah,
Yes.
submit it.
Submit.
Absolutely. That'll be fun. Okay. And now I have a new component for our second design here. And so we can, here we have where we'll place it. Putting in that new one. Behind the subtraction. And there we go. And it looks just as we intended. And we'll describe each of these functions since these are the core aspects of the app. So this is writing a letter. See your pal's letter as you write your response. Since that's like the key feature of this screen. And we could copy it again, and then we'll show the next one since we have 10 minutes, so pretty solid. And we'll upload this, and I'll publish it.
Yay.
I think we can get that far. Yeah.
I think so.
Cool. And for this part, I really want to show off that map, so I'm going to move it up here like that. Okay. And this is what's showing how long it will take for our letter to get to the recipient. And
hey, Cars. Oh, sorry.
Hey, oh.
Thanks for joining us.
I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Okay. Mask it. Add as a component. So if we ever change our design, it is like just ready to go. And we can replace that here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh.
Why did it turn on the side?
I have no idea.
Weird.
That was strange. That must be a bug. I can tell the team.
Oh.
What?
That's funny.
Does anyone have any idea why it would
I've never
rotate like
seen
that? That is, I've never seen that before. Cool. Just 8 minutes left to submit
Yes.
your
designs.
How exciting.
Yay. And if you haven't joined our Discord channel, maybe we can throw the Discord link up really fast.
Absolutely.
It is bit.ly, thank you, bit.ly/XD, make sure it's a capital X and a capital D, Discord. So head over to this link and join. We have a great community and everyone that gives feedback on your designs and will help you grow as a designer. So everyone go to that link and join our Discord, and in about 7 minutes, we're gonna be looking at your designs in the design feedback channel. Oh, Howard is saying, was the original group containing the mock-up rotated?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because we had that envelope and the circle that was rotated, right? But that's not this one.
Yeah. I'm not sure. There's something's
funny.
going. The thing is, there's always a reason for these like little things, or at least there usually is. And sometimes it can be hard to nail down, especially when you have so many different components, like in that artboard, which is why I just kind of grouped it all together and masked it, just so it'd be a little easier to work with. See your letter as it travels on its way to your pal.
Yay.
One thing, little typography thing that you should avoid is like this hanging word. It's either called a widow or is it called a widow?
Yeah. I learned that on one of the live streams I did.
And so you want to avoid that just because it's lingering and it's just kind of dead. So what we'll do is put a non-breaking space, which you can do if you hold Alt and then hit space. That's a non-breaking space, which means and this works across operating systems.
That's awesome.
That way, the line will not break between here and here, like ever.
So it like saves that space as like a connection between those two words.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that's like a special like little character, and XD supports that. And that now PAL is not alone.
Yeah. Yay.
And our last snapshot into our design here will be to find other pals to talk to. Awesome. And so here we're going to put our design that we just designed, where we can find new people.
I really like how this turned out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It really came along.
It's really fun.
And again, like those animations are really fun, especially with that top navigation. So if you were doing this and had just slightly more time, I definitely recommend putting GIFs in there so that your design really does come through.
Yeah. I bet you could do like a timed animation where these like circles kind of like bobble in and out kind of.
Yeah.
And like move. That would be kind of fun.
That would definitely be possible. But since we only have 4 minutes and 50 seconds, not quite there yet. So, but we have something solid. So this is exciting. This locked layer keeps not wanting to be included. Okay. Mask with our shape here. Turn it into a component. And the reason why I'm duplicating the original design here, is just because I have it part of a prototype.
Oh, that's
and my
right.
links would get broken if I turned our
Yeah.
original thing into a mask, and then our layer names
Yeah.
wouldn't be preserved. So that is why I'm doing that.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll do our last change.
If you are just joining us and you missed the beginning or yesterday, we do have replays of all of our videos. So if you head over to behance.net/live, if you scroll a little bit down, you'll see the replays. Or if you head over to the YouTube channel for Adobe Creative Cloud, you could find our replays there. So you can see how Sam designed this awesome app.
I'm actually, this live stream has reinvigorated my passion for this project.
Oh my
and
God,
I want to take it even further because,
Nice.
and so that's, next steps is something you should always include at the bottom of your projects. Maybe green. And so for me, my next steps are to add a lot more of those features that we were talking about. So like, there was one really fun idea where maybe your letter, depending on where it is, if it's in like New York, let's say, on its way to traveling to your pal, and New York has like terrible weather, like your letter would actually be held up in New York and like stay there, and there would be a delay, and maybe you can even like send a message to your pal that like the letter's being like held up.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that idea. It's like realistic, but still within this app, and
that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
And then I think it makes it more realistic, because if you and your pen pal are in different cities or countries, you'll have different weather, and you can kind of like connect, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they're having bad weather, and you kind of also experience the bad things that happen with that, with your letter being delayed.
Yeah.
Or weather reports.
Yeah, absolutely. I got this icon because I thought maybe we'd get to adding like the weather feature, but we didn't get to it today. Also, if you were doing this for your own self, I'd put more time, and when I come back to this, I'll refine some of these details, but refine your copy in terms of telling that story and walking them through like this is the different steps of like the journey, like the happy path. And so you'll want to maybe more clearly articulate what it is actually going on in each of these steps. And that is like a key aspect as well. So,
Riaz is saying notification that a letter is received. So maybe that could be something to in your next steps.
Yeah, for sure. Notifications could be a great addition. Also, I would put more time and investment into like defining what each of these is, as well. But for notifications, I'll just do like the red dot in the corner. Right, that's the classic notifications icon. It can be really easy to make icons sometimes.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
I like messing around with icons, like making icons in XD.
It's quite easy.
Yeah.
And so since we're getting so close to our deadline here, I'm going to basically just wrap this up maybe with one more, and we're going to transition into our design feedback session.
Yeah.
And I will be uploading this to Behance, and maybe I'll clean up this whole file as well so that you guys can actually play around with it and change the animations and have a lot more fun with it, because I think there's a lot of potential here, and there's so much more to explore. I want to add all the other features and all the other tabs, but it was just such a blast being able to design this with you guys live,
really fun.
and to hear your feedback and have it incorporated like right here, right now, was just absolutely
really cool.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yes. Yay. Okay, so it is time for design feedback. So I'm in Discord right now under the design feedback channel, and so it seems that we only have one submission for today's or this week's XD Daily Creative Challenge. So we'll take a look at it, and then if anyone is watching and you're still working on it, you can submit it between now and the next like 10, 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
And we can still take a look. So this one is from Diagonally / Christina. And we can take a look at hers.
Okay, let's take a
pulled it
look.
up here. So awesome. And so the theme is a food delivery app, and today's challenge is to create a home screen that is engaging. So I like how you have delivery and then pickup, because I've seen that on some food delivery apps where you can pick up from the restaurant, which is kind of cool if you don't want to pay for that delivery fee. So I like how you have that, and you did a good job with showing that you are on the delivery screen. And then the address. It's cool. I wonder what you would put up here. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like a gallery view of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that food looks great.
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Restaurant name, delivery 30 minutes. Type. Yeah. I think,
Yeah, this is solid, and I'm curious as to like what that heart is doing. Like, what's your social dynamic here?
ooh, yeah.
If there is any, like as part of food, like what would food delivery plus like a social
Yeah.
like
Ooh.
site look like?
That would
Because
be
when I
interesting.
see like the favoriting, I think of like adding to like a favorites list,
Yeah.
or usually is tied to like a social website. So
Yeah.
that's fascinating. I'd love to see the restaurant name a little bit bigger, maybe.
Yeah.
Just because it is a lot more important than what's below it.
Zoom in
That'd be
a
great.
little.
And it's bold, so
Yeah,
you're
that's
off to a good start. Oh, I'm just seeing in the chat, everyone, so thank you so much, Kristen and Ariana and Kroll, thank you.
Yay.
But yeah, that's
I agree. I would make this name a little bit bigger, and then maybe you can show like what it would look like without the heart. I don't know if this heart has been selected, or maybe
it's
like
filled,
you can fill
yeah.
it in with like a red color or something to show that that has been favorited, for example.
I think usually you might want to do an outline, a heart outline
Yeah.
for the unfavorited status, and then go to like the filled state when it is,
Yeah.
when it's finished, when it's
When it's
selected.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it's favorited.
John is saying, I would like to see a star rating. Yeah,
That'd
I
be-
think that's good feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool to see what the reviews are. Whenever I look at food delivery apps, I actually don't really read the reviews on the app itself. I look at the name and then I go to Yelp and read
Oh my
those
gosh.
reviews.
So maybe you
And-
can start pulling in from Yelp for you, right?
That would be good, because I don't know, like for me, I order from like food delivery apps a lot, and I'll give it like a thumbs up if it was good, or like a thumbs down, but I don't like take the time to write a review about how it was good or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
No, I totally see that.
I would like to have like an overview, like the star rating. Yeah. I think it would be
Absolutely. The name is Foodmate. Okay, cool.
cool.
Lovely.
I like FoodMate. And I like the different categories. You have popular, fast delivery.
Where did you find all these images? Like, they're great.
I think these might be from Unsplash, because I also got this
Oh.
same pizza picture from
I love it.
Unsplash.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, Unsplash is a great resource for images that you can use for free on your apps. And there's also a plugin on XD, which I can show in a second.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
But this is a really great job, great start, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So we can switch over to XD. This is the starter file for today's challenge. But if you head over to plugins, it is called Photo Splash.
Oh, okay.
And okay, so I have to select
Yeah.
like a rectangle, and then head over to Photo Splash, and you can enter in a keyword. So for food,
Like food.
yeah,
There we
say I
go.
want this like burger, and it'll import it into whatever shape you have. So,
Perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
it's really cool.
I remember yesterday we asked what are people's favorite plugins, but we
Yeah.
never
Oh,
actually
yeah.
got back to hearing people's favorite plugins.
Yeah,
so if you do have other plugins that you'd
Let
like
us know right now.
for some feedback or to share
Yeah.
your favorites, then
Oh, we have another one.
Okay.
Yay. This
Yes,
is from
perfect.
Nitish. KMRK. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Let's take a look at this one. Thank you.
Oh,
Ooh,
lovely.
This looks nice.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the color you used too, that yellow color.
Is that the original size, or can we zoom in a little bit?
I can zoom in a little.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. I like this.
Undraw is great. Richard is
Me
bringing up
too.
Undraw
I love
plugin,
Undraw.
which is a
Katarina.
relatively newer one
Yeah,
compared to
it's really great.
other plugins.
Hi, Sam. Sam's in the chat.
Hey.
Hey.
So great that everyone's here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this one, I really like the black, white, and yellow
Me too.
colors, actually.
Yeah.
It works pretty well.
It looks really nice and it's like simple. And I like the spacing you have in
Mm-hmm.
between the elements.
Yeah. Yeah. For your all caps titles, I would just increase the spacing just a tad. Just for any like all caps text, it's good to just have like a slightly like wider spacing, letter spacing
Yeah.
between those letters.
Makes it a little
make
easier to read.
A little easier to read, yeah.
But this is cool. I like how you can scroll through featured cuisines. I would maybe change this word, nearby outlets. Maybe you can do like nearby restaurants or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Nearby places, maybe.
Totally.
Just to make it so people, I don't know, like I feel like you can use a word that is more like widely used, if that makes sense. But I like how you have the rating here. Maybe you can put like a star next to it to show that it's a rating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was able to discern that it's a rating, but some people might not understand
Yeah.
what that number means. So
True.
you could definitely add a star. It could also be white on yellow can be hard to read. This is like a slightly darker yellow, so
Yeah.
it could be okay, but accessibility people would tell you
Yeah.
not to do it, just for people with weaker eyes.
Yeah.
And we should all be practicing readable text, so that would definitely be a way to go as well. So
Yes, but great job. You got a lot done so far since this challenge was released at 8 a.m. So awesome job.
yeah, for 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Not bad at all,
Great job.
for sure.
Let's see if there's
This is great.
anything else.
Ooh,
Ooh,
is that a new
okay,
one?
we have-
Another
yeah, we
one.
have a new one.
Thank you.
Yay.
Keep it coming.
This is cool, yeah. Okay, this is from Kugo.
Kugo.
Let's see.
It's an XD link, so
Yes.
perfect.
Cool. Thanks for sending the link. Ooh, okay. I think you mentioned here, and I kind of exit out really fast. I'm thinking Tinder type setup for food, but with a direct search. That's cool. I think that's kind
Tinder,
of fun.
but
yeah.
for food?
That's fun.
What a
Let's
fun
see.
idea. Oh my
Yay, I like
gosh.
this.
Okay.
And I like these hearts, and then usually delivers in 20
Thank you,
minutes.
Kelsey.
Yay.
Yeah, so we have some pizza. I love how it's just some pizza.
Yeah.
It's not just any pizza. It's,
Yeah,
it's
some pizza.
Just, some pizza. Who cares what it is?
Yeah.
You just order the pizza
Yeah.
and just shows up at
yeah.
your table. Just random one.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a restaurant where the chef just kind of walks up to you and decides for you what you want to eat.
Wait,
like,
really?
You kind of look like a cheese pizza.
What?
Kinda.
Wait, is that here? In San
I
Francisco,
don't
or, like-
remember. One of my colleagues was telling me about
Oh my
it.
god,
yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah.
I wonder what the chef would
Yeah.
choose for.
I think it's a Chinese place.
That's cool.
They just kind of like choose for you.
Yay.
That's
So
fun.
I don't know where I can.
Is it
click.
interactive at all? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If
It's not letting me do anything. Maybe.
yeah. So
Should I
this is
refresh?
Kugo's, right?
Yeah.
So if Kugo's in the chat or here, let us know if this is an interactive prototype where we have to click on
Okay.
something.
Maybe
Ooh, we
I
also have
tried-
another one.
Yeah, we have
that
another
got
one
submitted.
coming in. Done. Yay. Let's see if this.
Yeah, but maybe this is all it
Maybe
is.
it's-
In which
yeah.
case,
It's a
okay,
good
so
start.
it's a solid start. I think because you have so much white space at the bottom, you could really start filling that up and giving that image, which is really the star of this app. Make it even bigger. Fill up all the space and then have all the other
Yeah.
data like at the
At
bottom.
Yeah, you can have this image bigger.
Yeah, for sure, because people love food, so why not?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Steve says, this is Steve's. That is my
Oh.
interaction. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah, making this like bigger, and then maybe you can like tap through other images for that same place. Or maybe if you tap, you can get to like the reviews page or something and learn more about the place.
I think it wouldn't hurt to go with bigger text and maybe a different typeface as well.
Yeah.
This is a really condensed, ultra condensed typeface, which especially at its current size can be a little hard to read. So don't be afraid to bump that up. It looks like you're using the same one all around, even at the top. And yeah, that can get a little hard to read. So bigger, and then maybe something that's not so tall and condensed.
And I think you can maybe bring in the 20 minutes closer to this, like the delivery time. So the user knows that this kind of goes together. They might think at a glance that this is something else.
Yeah.
And
as you start thinking about like where this fits into the experience, like what does someone want to see when they're ordering food? You don't have much information here, but you could really kind of think about what questions a person would want to answer when they are like at this kind of state where they're really hungry, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're in this Tinder food app, which
Yeah.
I think is a really fun idea.
Yeah, I like the idea.
So I would keep exploring that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this evolves. So awesome job. Let's look at Coco Loku, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. Okay, let me open the original so we can see a little bigger.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it's for iPhone 10
Nice.
with the
Super
that notch.
Rapido delivery.
Ooh.
Nice. I like this image too. That looks really good.
Okay. And so it looks like we have, this is like probably like the home screen or where you would start browsing to look for food. And we have this banner.
Spaghetti.
Dish of the day. Spaghetti. I love it.
Me too.
It's so good. It's like going to the spa.
Yeah. Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, I like how you're featuring this at the top. So maybe the user doesn't know what they want and they can see this and say, oh, I'm craving some spaghetti. And they can, has a fast delivery time, so they can click on that to order.
Yeah. I want to see more. I want to see
me
more.
Too.
Like, this is obviously just the start. But in terms of like feedback on what you have currently, I'm noticing all your text is aligned to the right. Maybe you can flip, since text, at least for English text, like it's always left or right. So it's probably better to put the text on the left side and have it all left aligned, and then you can flip the image so that the spaghetti is on the right, and then you have that nice white space
that's a good idea.
on the left to put the text.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. Looks like you're using a few different sizes of type, and with any kind of design or mobile layout, it's good to set up a system of typography where you're using only maybe a handful of just a few different sizes, because you can oftentimes find yourself using like, oh, this really small size and this size that's really bigger than that, and it's kind of custom use case for each individual element, and that can be hard to upkeep as a system. So as you start to grow, you'll find yourself going to the same sizes, and you could establish that system. Yeah. And you can even do that in the XD layers panel where you're using those character styles already set up. Yeah.
And then I would make this sentence dish of the day one size, because I think that whole thing is kind of important, rather than just focusing on dish and then like of the day is like smaller. So maybe making that like bigger. But other than that, this is a really great start. So.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yay. Thank you. Let's see.
I can't wait to see more.
Me too. Okay, we have another one. Yay!
Oh.
Still working on it. Okay.
That's good.
Cool.
That's good.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay.
I like this location.
Yeah.
icon.
Okay. So that's where we would start a search. I imagine like you could start in a location. I love all the pizza that's happening.
I know.
Now I really want pizza.
Yeah, me too. Sorry,
That's
I'm
great.
hungry.
So Pizza House, and some of the feedback that we're giving on the earlier ones, I can see, like you're definitely doing this. Like the Pizza House is a little bigger than the other information that was below it. 3.7 stars. 25 to 30 minutes. So you have that core info that people would want to see on there. I'd love to see what that information page looks like once you tap on one of these. You can turn that, don't be afraid to make an interactive prototype that really kind of goes so much further in terms of like describing how something works.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tim is saying it looks like you have 2 search bars and that could be a bit confusing. And yeah, I would agree. The shapes look the same. So maybe you can add like a line instead of making it like a pill shape or something. Yeah, so I'm trying to understand what the goal is of each of these, but I think one's for location and then one's for like the type of food or what you're exactly searching for. And I think that could be integrated all into one search bar where you have your location, which is more than likely, if you think about someone that's using this app, it's more than likely where they are. So you don't have to emphasize that as much. It's just like current location. And then you can really put your emphasis on like that second one, which is probably the type of food or like a specific search term that you're looking for. So you can move this to the top and maybe like move this icon underneath or something, or say like where they're delivering to, or I don't know. But I feel like having 2 of the same type of shape, it can be confusing because this also looks like you can search. Maybe the user might get confused if they can search up here or...
And obviously you're still working on it, so some of these things still have, you can definitely still work out.
But I like the layout and everything looks really nice. And great job.
That would be pretty easy to do auto animate with sliding on that carousel.
That would be fun. Yay. Let's see if we have any more.
Oh,
no.
That is it?
I think that is it.
Oh my gosh.
But if you're still working on the challenge, I'll be in Discord along with our other mentors. Peter and Tim are in there right now.
I'm in there too.
Yay!
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. We have another channel in there called Design a Feature.
Oh yeah, let me go to it.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anything new posted in there. I should check it out.
I think so.
But me and Talon's the lead designer on Adobe XD. We designed this UI kit that we published to the world on Behance. And we're letting anyone design a feature that they would like to see in XD, and we're giving the wireframe assets of everything you would need to design your own XD feature. Yeah, some of these are new. I actually haven't checked these out.
It's really cool. It's nice to see this is like instant feedback for what people want on XD, and you can have the chance to show exactly the feature that you want. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
So that's fun. I love seeing all the other tips and tricks. Is another great channel where people are sharing.
Cars has some. Oh, he posted Mapbox.
Oh, Cars is active all over the place.
Cars is always
I love
helping
it.
out. And there's Undra.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, those are some great resources for sure.
So definitely head over to Discord and help each other out, give feedback. Yay, thank you for the link. So if you head over to bit.ly/X Discord, you can join our Discord channel and give each other feedback, and people can give you feedback, and it's a really great community. So
yeah. Awesome.
Yes, and thank you to everyone for sharing your designs that you've worked on so far. We have couple minutes left, so
I'm going to finish up and we're going to upload this project to Behance, just as like that final last step. And I mean, FYI, I'm going to be like changing some of these things and bringing new things into the mix. But as a tentative start to our finishing of this whole project, we'll bring it into Behance. Okay. Wow. So this image is uploading, which is why it's dark. Okay. And so Behance perfectly handles quite well like really long images. And if it's nice and high resolution, it'll go full width. But you also have the option to like give it margins on the left and right. But I think the general trend is to go full width on that. And we even have some different options for the background, and there is a space up here
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Looks like there's a tiny space up there, so let's grab the color from XD of that color green that we're using and bring it into here so that everything matches. Oh, that is not the right color.
Oh.
There we go. There we go.
Cool. Nice.
And we'll save that.
I didn't know you could change the background color.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, and this is where you go to embed media. So like, I can actually publish my prototype of, let's do it. We have a few minutes here. What time is it? We have 10 minutes. Okay, so like, I can publish, let's see, so this is my home, that's my home screen. And so our prototype from before for our chat app, where we can swipe along, open our letter, and read through our letter, and go to our different pages. We could add that functionality to our Behance itself. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to wire up one last thing that we forgot, which is this one to go to our last page. We'll do drag, auto animate. That should be good. Aha.
Oh, cool.
Rad. Okay.
Nice.
And that will be like that last step. And we'll publish this, and I'll show you how you can embed it with Behance. So we'll do share for review. Anyone with the link can view. That's good. I'll turn off show navigation controls, or maybe I'll leave that on. Again, we can always change this and come back to it if some of those settings aren't quite what you want. And so here I'm publishing it, and this will generate a link that you can send to anyone, and they can see your prototype live on the web. But you can also do copy embed code. And so now over here in embed media, boom, we can embed our prototype. Nice. And that's loading here, but you can see it will pop up. Whoa! And now our interactive prototype is actually in our Behance post. And we could generate, it even lets you generate like a cover image, which that looks pretty solid. Pensive, we'll give it a title. A digital pen pal app for iPad. Crop and continue. We have some of these options here. Project description. Maybe I'll just take something that we've already written.
Yeah.
From up here. A digital letter writing app. I'll copy that for our description here. I'll do iPad, Adobe XD. Maybe like pen pals. Corresponder, because that's the name of my original project, which is I'm gonna leave that on Behance. I'll just leave it there because it's kind of nice to have that.
It's cool to see the transition, from the first version to this new version.
And somewhere else on here we can add what tools we used to create it. I think.
Oh yeah, I think it was on.
Is it on the next?
Right
tools
there.
used. This is the most fun part of Behance. Yay. I think you can show what tools you used to make a project.
Nice.
And we'll add XD.
Yay.
Are we ready to publish?
Yes,
oh my god,
ready.
the project, at least the MVP version of the project is done.
Yay.
And it will be live on the web.
Yay.
Oh, this field is required. Oh, we have to add. Okay. UX, UI. Cool. Oh. There we go. Awesome. Publish. And it is publishing live. Oh my gosh.
Cool.
And so here it is live. My Behance. This is a link to the post itself, but you can also get to it from behance.net/sam.design. Will take you to my profile, and there it is. There's
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And then the prototype.
And here's the interactive prototype right there, along with every other feature that we designed live here with everyone.
It was super exciting.
Oh, how exciting!
Yes.
This is
so
great.
we are just about out of time. Thank you to everyone in the chat for joining us and being active and giving feedback and helping us out. And a big thank you to Sam.
Oh, this was a blast.
This was really fun. I learned so much from you, and I'm sure everyone in the chat did as well.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yay. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you to Sam. Where can everyone find you?
So you can find me, my Behance up here. So on my screen I have, so sam.design is my website. At sam.design is my Twitter handle. You can follow me. I'm always tweeting about XD and design tooling in general. You can also ask questions if you have any questions about XD itself. Feel free to reach out there. And hi@sam.design is my email if you want to reach out and have something that you want to ask, or if you want to reach out and get coffee.
Awesome.
Like, absolutely. We're in the Bay Area, so.
Yeah. Yay. This was
absolutely.
really fun. Thank you. And so we're actually not going to be back for day 3 with Sam. We're going to have new designers and guests starting tomorrow.
Okay.
So get excited.
I want to come back, though.
Yeah, you definitely have to come back. You and Howard need to have your auto animate showdown.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
we should
that
do
would
that,
be really
Howard.
fun.
Challenge is on.
Yeah. Yay. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you so
We'll see you
much.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.